just think about something like Black Mirror, for example. You know, every scary portrayal of the effects of these technologies is kind of shown to us, and that's all we get to see. And people kind of think of it as this future thing that hasn't happened yet, but it's already happening. The technologies we have and the tools we have are already extensions of ourselves.
There is a test, they call it mirror test. So if animal recognizes itself in the mirror, we say like, okay, certain level of intelligence is there. Now, what's happening in the world right now is exactly we are failing the mirror experiment. People are talking to these chatbots, and they think these chatbots are generating ideas and thoughts. And people think that they are talking to a being that is thinking.
Okay, so they're attaching like human-like, a human-like
people are falling in love with these
perception
things.
to
They
it.
have
Are
relationship.
they?
Replica stopped romantic functions because people are falling in love with the application.
No.
Hello, Aylin.
Hello, David.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Why are you laughing?
That's okay.
A tiny bit exhausted, but you know, it's okay. It's just the usual.
So how was your week last week?
It was boring as usual. I can't really recall much that went on, except that
Anything interesting happened?
I worked. Very interesting.
You started your new job.
Yes, I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked, and now I'm here. That's how it feels.
Oh my god.
I know.
That
Just
might be-
capitalist realities.
Yeah,
You know?
was it tough?
No, not tough, but just
What do you do?
like
Can
emails
you talk about it?
and social media and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That's as far as I can disclose.
Ooh.
The
But I remember
information.
you mentioned something about AI and stuff.
That was a different one. Those people abandoned me. Like they just never
Abandoned
contacted
you?
Yeah, they never contacted me.
Why?
I don't know. They were like, yes,
You guys
it's
are
great. We're
watching
gonna
this
hire
video?
you.
Shame on
Yeah.
you.
By the way, I would
Don't watch.
mention their name,
Stop
but
the video right now.
no, but really, like, yeah, they actually abandoned me. But
Oh.
it's okay. Now I have this, which is better. I don't have to come here every single day
That's great. That's great.
because that job was gonna be in Kadıköy, which would be really hard for me.
Yeah. And I also know that you've been trying so hard for the last few weeks, the earthquake and everything. You were trying to collect help and contact friends around the world. How's it going so far?
Yeah, it's going well. I actually have a friend who's driving from the UK, coming on the weekend. They're staying over, and we're gonna collect more things to put in a van that she's driving in, and she's going to head to the affected areas because she volunteered there last year. So, yeah, gonna be doing that a little bit on the weekend as well. So it goes on, you know, doesn't end. Like we mentioned in the last episode, just a quick little note.
Yeah.
We're going to need help with the more time passes, the more different kinds of aid we will need. So,
Of
yeah,
course,
just a
yeah.
brief little note.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how was your week?
My week was very productive and like every time, and it was very relaxed and chill at the same time. More progress towards my plans, my life plans, and everything seemed very nice, to be honest.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Internet.
Yeah, anything interesting that you have seen on social media or any other
Like ever?
platforms? No, in the last week. Let's condense it into
Okay, last week. I don't know. I guess that honestly, I these days, these weeks, I mean, world is very chaotic to me.
Yeah.
These last few weeks, and I kind of feel like I need to stay away a little bit from it to protect my psychology. And because not everything that is presented on internet or social media is necessarily true. They're exaggerated contents, you know.
Of course.
We've been making contents in our job with media team that we have, and I kind of learned in time that how you can create exaggerated contents, how you can play with people's emotions and stuff. So that's why I'm trying to protect myself as much as possible. So recently, not really nothing. You?
In terms of things I've been seeing, well,
Anything interesting you saw?
a lot of the things
worth
on my
mentioning?
social media recently have been either news and updates about what has happened in Turkey, or even memes around that situation, which I think is maybe too early to get into that. Not
I see.
memes around it, but just, Turkish humor about earthquakes and whatever, which I think sometimes, as much as In some cases, it's not appropriate. I think humor on social media can help sometimes if it's done the right way with dealing with really intense things, really emotional things. So I've been seeing some of that, like people just, getting together to shed a little bit of a positive light on things that have been going on. Also, there's been a lot about all the like beautiful and heartwarming things that happened in the affected areas, and that has been really nice for me to see, like adopted animals and all the miracles that took place there. But other than that, honestly, not so much on my feed, no. And it's crazy how quickly, I mean, we know that algorithms work that way, but it's crazy how quickly it switches and adapts to what you're watching. Like, it's actually really insane when you think about it. And the other day, actually, I saw a few friends. Crazy, right? But we all compared our For You feed on Instagram, and it was like wildly different. Actually, like there was like one guy who had like a bunch of girls, like half naked girls on his feet. He was like,
I don't have that,
it's just me, guys. Like, this is just what I am. And I was like, great. And then mine is like just different things as well. Mine also has a lot of girls, but it's more just like the girls
half naked.
Some, yeah, but it's mainly girls who like look great, and I'm like, oh, what does she have that I need to do? But that's like when I'm not being self-aware.
That was a big confession in front of the camera.
Yeah, I don't mind. We're just being honest here. So yeah, I guess that stuff always trends.
Yeah.
Like just, I think what trends most on social media is things that people don't have and they wish they had deep inside. Well, I mean, we don't actually need them, but we're made to believe that we need them. And that's how the entire thing works. You click on it more, you view it more, you want to buy it. That's why, like, the main purpose of social media is to sell things. So, like, as a tool, So at the end of the day, your job as a consumer is to buy the thing that you're being sold, whether it's like the idea of a happier life or whatever, So yeah, I think that's what goes on. And I think this goes into the idea of virtual identity and how we manage ourselves. What? It's just me trying to like.
Yeah. She can't remember suddenly that we're gonna talk about virtual identity, and that was an amazing, turn.
But we can cut this.
I felt like there you go, virtual identity now.
No, but I actually thought about it like it's related to the topic of virtual identity.
Yeah. I was gonna mention that when you said like people want to be something that they're not in reality. I was just like, that's virtual identity right there.
Yeah, exactly. We're all managing like a certain presentation of ourselves. And sometimes, it can have positive sides to it, but then also really negative outcomes with like self-esteem, and just our perception of reality just kind of gets skewed because it's like online, it's virtual, it's not in our physical reality. And that stuff is only going to get more intense because with everything that's going on, you can think about like metaverse, whatever. The progression of artificial intelligence right now is going to bring us closer to this existence where more and more things are being done virtually, like things that have already been kind of gone extinct are going to keep going extinct. Like no one really picks up magazines anymore as much as they used to because we read all that stuff on our phones, So all these elements of our social reality, like physical reality, are going to slowly be transferred into the virtual world. So we better make sure that we're aware of the side effects and like both the positives, sure, there's a lot of positives, but also just the negative ways in which, or just all the ways in which it's going to affect us as human beings.
Yeah. I felt like the other day I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the what is virtual reality, because there are many people out there who kind of find virtual reality something that is not real. And that is so wrong because virtual reality is basically a type of reality that is happening live with the help of internet, and everything is just super faster. The location doesn't matter anymore because we are connected through internet and the waves, and it's real. So when we, I mean, there are people, they're building up their virtual identity, and they have this idea that, okay, this is just virtual identity. I'm just gonna make a profile. I'm gonna create a profile. I'm gonna write things, but those comments, those actions, they will all have impact on real people. So, I mean, virtual reality, I guess, is in the category of reality of life.
Yeah.
So whatever happens there will have impact on our normal reality as well.
Yeah. And I also noticed that people get kind of scared because like general narratives of artificial intelligence and like virtual reality are sometimes scary in popular media. Like, oh, these zombie, like just think about something like Black Mirror, for example, every scary portrayal of the effects of these technologies is kind of shown to us, and that's all we get to see. And people kind of think of it as this future thing that hasn't happened yet. But, I usually just say, like, it's not that your life is going to drastically change overnight all of a sudden. Like, it's going to be this, like, you watching your life in front of your eyes in some, like, VR thing.
Yeah.
It's already happening. Like, there's the technologies we have and the tools we have are already extensions of ourselves. And so they're also extensions of our reality. And so I just think, like, it's not some future thing that it's going to be like this crazy change. It's already going on. So yeah, like you're saying, virtual reality is a type of reality. I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, it's quite interesting. I was actually reading a very interesting article the other day. My friend sent it to me. It was saying that how people are misunderstood about this concept of AI. There are some chat applications. Some replica. It used to be Bing. Right now is being so famous. I guess Bing is trending right now in the world. And there was this guy who was saying, like, I'm shocked of how Bing can generate ideas and thoughts. There is a test. They call it mirror test. So they try this test on animals. And it's an evaluation of intelligence. So if animal recognizes itself in the mirror, we say, like, okay, certain level of intelligence is there. But if animal look at the mirror and thinks that that's another being in the mirror, that shows us a lot about that. Now, what's happening in the world right now is exactly we are failing the mirror experiment. People are talking to these chatbots. And they think these chatbots are generating ideas and thoughts, whereas these chatbots are mostly programmed to check out whole internet, especially Reddit. They check out Reddit and they take sentences and they analyze replies. And once you chat with them, they have a very large storage of all the previous chats people have ever done on internet, and they reply to you. So
I know, but what I think sometimes is like, well, how do we generate thoughts and ideas? We kind of, we don't know actually, because human intelligence is really complicated. So we don't really know like exactly how our brain works, how it creates new things, whatever. But a lot of the time, creativity and those kinds of forms of intelligences are us replicating what we have learned before and changing it and making it something new.
That's not the brain function, to be honest. I mean, on a neurolingual perspective, we are talking about very different concepts. Looking at previous chats and copy a chat from Reddit, and since you asked me a question, so I'm using someone else's reply to you.
It's not copying it. It's just
copying.
No, it's a lot of the like ChatGPT, for example. It's using existing information and like changing it and adapting it to what you're asking it to do. It's just using the collective internet information, but it's still generating a new sentence.
But as I read, there are no generation of new sentences. They're not generating new sentences. I can maybe share the article with you.
Okay. I mean, they kind of are, but that's the thing. The line is blurry between what's new, like fully new information, never done before, never existed before. That's a topic in like AI art, for example, like AI generated art, because all that AI art does is takes existing artists' works and then adapts it to the prompt that you're giving it, basically using what someone has done before. And a lot of artists are like, that's not art because it's using other people's creations. And sure, like the most basic systems are just taking what's already been done and not really changing much. But there are more advanced ones that are at the end of the day still creating new pieces, even if it's relying on something that's existing before. And if you take an artist, how can you know when exactly they developed their artistic perception? Like they probably looked at other artists' works when they were younger. They were probably partly inspired by whatever it is that they have seen before in their entire life. It's just that we can't track where exactly they're getting that information from. So the whole like idea of like what's new art or new information, what isn't, is a bit blurry and a bit confusing right now because we don't know how we function, like how we create new things
but
fully.
the thing is, there's a very large evolution of human language and social evolutions, and you have like, you know, at the primitive era, you don't have such a thing as liberalism, let's say, but then it goes, and then we have religions, and then we create new terms and we define them. We have new definitions, but And that's what's happening throughout the history. Maybe these recent years, we didn't have much chance to generate new things, or maybe we are not really detecting any new changes. But
can I clear things out about ChatGPT? So basically what ChatGPT is, that scientists trained it on 175 billion parameters. So what it's actually doing is guessing the next word. Now it's trained on 175 billion parameters, but imagine if it was trained on 1 trillion parameters. That could be the AI we all want.
That's it. I was trying to say Bing, Replica. I used these examples and said, like, people think they're having chats with these applications, and people think that they are talking to a being that is thinking.
Okay, so they're attaching like human-like...
People are falling in love with these things. They have relationship. Replica has stopped romantic functions because people are falling in love with the application.
No.
Can I add something?
Sure.
I also know
That's
that
like a Me to Talk session, right? I feel like we're in a Me to Talk session.
in Germany or in the US, I actually don't know. Scientists, they turned off two computers to AI computers, so they wanted them to communicate with each other. In 20 minutes, two AI computer, they created the whole new language that human beings cannot understand. And they were trying to communicate within 20 minutes, and then scientists, they decided to turn off these computers. So it's like it's
quite interesting because I'm hearing from here and there two different opinions. One is saying that we have that, like AI has reached to that level. The others are saying that we haven't reached to that level yet. So it's a myth.
Well, I could say so much more about this.
Yes.
But we just don't know. There's lots of studies in progress right now. The more we find out about human consciousness and human brains, the more we'll be able to understand AI and vice versa.
Definitely. I would like to say that I'm actually functioning like a chatbot right now because I just saw things on internet and I'm just repeating them. You know, I'm not a scientist of the technology. I can talk
Honestly,
about language. Same. I can comment on that. I can talk about marketing maybe a little bit. Moving on to trolling.
Trolling. Okay, I have a lot to say. Actually, I have one thing to say.
Lot or one thing?
One thing. Okay. I have always, my whole life, seen trolls as some of the saddest people on planet Earth. That's all I have to say.
Attack, it's just Aylin.
Those people who have, and I've not like a social media anything. Like I don't get trolled, you know. But I see like other people get trolled, and every time I see it, I'm just like, you really have nothing better than go on this person's profile and like point out this and this and this about their life. Like it's just so sad, you know. It's probably like they have nothing else going on in their own life, and they just want to do this. So that is a type of trolling that like I'm thinking about when it comes to this topic, and it's just sad. That's my opinion.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If we could, I mean, we say virtual reality is a form of reality. So people kind of simulate whatever they do in reality in virtual reality. So what do they do trolls in real life? I'm really curious about this. Is an honest question.
They hide behind the
Like,
they hide in the dark. They're just like they're the little like losers in the corner, you know?
I feel like you are attracting all trolls to attack you right now.
Or they're the bullies. Traditional, original bullies, you know?
Bullies.
The bullies.
Bullies. That
People,
totally
people
makes
who
sense.
bully you at school.
That totally makes sense. Have
Yeah.
you ever been bullied at school?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Okay.
That's also very personal.
I was okay.
In Russia, I was bullied a lot.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
What's like one thing a bully would say in Russian?
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. All right.
They just made fun of like anything they could make fun of.
I was
you know?
always friend of a bully. I was never a bully, and I was never bullied because I was always a friend of a bully. Because
Oh, you were like
you
neutral.
gotta save yourself.
That makes sense.
You gotta
Yeah.
save yourself. Be close to the power.
No, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice trolling. Yeah, have you ever been victim of trolling? Like to the point that you feel really under pressure, maybe seeking psychological help, therapy?
No, again, only in Russia there was this girl who like bullied me on the social media
Bullied
site.
on social media.
Yeah.
What happened?
She just like left comments under my pictures and all that stuff. And then I was in 5th grade, so
Fifth grade.
my mom. Oh, by the way, when this comes out, it's gonna be her birthday. So happy birthday,
Happy
Mom.
birthday, Marina! Happy
But
birthday to you.
also she showed up to the school and she was like, "I'm gonna kill you" to that girl. And then everything stopped. So no, she like wasted
gonna
no
kill
time.
ya.
She was like, "Where is she?" And also
Where is
the
she?
girl was older than me. She was in like 7th grade. She was like, you know, kind of hot, kind of like dominant, like dominating everything. And I was like, I'm so sad. And mom was like, I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
And then she never spoke to me again. She never said anything again. So that was like the most, I guess, social media trolling, bullying that I went through.
I see.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I read the news that American government asked federal organizations to stop using TikTok. They're banning TikTok. EU also did the similar thing last week, I guess. And why?
It's because of data privacy concerns.
Data privacy concern. So
But
what
it's-
about
it's a-
Facebook?
It's a two-way situation, you know.
Yeah.
It's the like usual continuation of Cold War. The only public enemy in the West is the East, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
no one's like, you know, like we said, it's okay for America to steal your information because it's America.
Yeah, that's amazing because Facebook
Yeah.
went to court. I mean, we all watched Social Network movie by David Fincher, and we know from the day one, Facebook was an evil platform.
I mean, we've also seen videos of Zuckerberg like just converse, and I'm sure that we all found them slightly weird because
Yeah.
there's definitely some very, very unusual robotic elements to the way this human behaves, and he's very just like this,
Yeah,
and very
Guy's
unnerving.
weird, yeah. And
But yeah,
and
there's a double standard, definitely.
double standards. Like there are reports that young Instagram been a threat to young girls because of the beauty, the concept of beauty they perceive from
I
internet.
mean, I can see that.
WhatsApp has been stealing data like forever. And all,
Forever.
yeah, all of them. And then at the end of the day, Facebook is totally good to go, green light, but TikTok should be banned. I mean, what is going on? I
Yeah,
mean,
it
that's
doesn't make
just-
sense.
Let's say it's just unfair. It's very much unfair. Yeah.
Very unfair. Justice for TikTok.
Only for TikTok. Like I don't have I don't have problem with closing down
Tick.
a platform if it's threatening human community, but not only one of them because it's not in your country, because it's not really benefiting your
Yeah.
national interest.
I want to see people dance.
I love TikTok, guys. I love those videos on TikTok. People name calling their teachers. I love that.
I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, students name calling their teachers and stuff.
What? That's
or
horrible.
they use their teacher's first name to call them. I always loved it when I was a
That's
student.
so weird and so specific.
I always wanted to do it when I was doing it actually when I was back in the school. I was always going around and randomly calling my teachers by their first name, and the guys, what? It's just your first time. Your parents selected for you. Why are you so sad about
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Turkish social media. Okay, my favorite meme, my favorite Turkish meme. Do you have any favorite Turkish meme?
No.
My favorite Turkish meme is Chicago style. Chicago style is like pull out and show it. So it's a
I haven't seen it still.
Are you serious? Chicago style was such a thing. I guess it
I
used to
keep
be
thinking
something political.
you're saying Chicago style.
Çıkar. Arkadaşlar çıkarın gösterin. Yani Chicago style. Yeah, that's yes. And that was used in the past. It was something political, but then it kind of like changed. And now for everything, when you claim something, if I find it stupid or ridiculous, I will just say like, show me, like take it out, show me, pull out, show me, and prove it to me, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can laugh by the way. It's totally okay.
Okay.
I'm seeing new version
No,
of
no.
Aylin's smile.
Moving on now. So
Yes, moving
maybe
on.
it's time to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, of
Bring
course,
back the
of
southern
course, yes.
accent. So
Wrapping it
we
up.
had a wonderful conversation. Just a little summary. We talked about AI. We talked about social media. I don't know why I'm doing this. We've never done a summary before. But what I want to say is that this is the end of the episode today.
Yeah, I want to just mention that please comment, subscribe,
Troll us.
troll
You can say really mean things.
to
Not
her.
really to him. To him. Like his glasses, for example. Comment on those. No, don't say anything. Okay, so
Yes.
bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next
See you
week.
guys.
or
We're being
whatever.
weird, but it's okay. See you, everyone. Take care of yourself.